Good morning, everyone. Good morning. And what a lovely day it is here. And I hope it is with you. I think we are finally getting a bit of spring sunshine, but we're almost summer, aren't we? So got a very pretty little card to show you today. And good morning to everyone. Jane, Di, Shirley, Vel, Terry, Sue, the other Sue, Sarah, Pat, June, Jeanette. It was a great workshop. We had a lovely workshop yesterday with lots of people, which was good fun. And I think we all came away with something which was lovely. And I'm going to carry on with that theme because we were working with the Sweet Poppy stencils yesterday, and we're going to use another one with a fancy fold thrown in, as we're not doing Fancy Fold Friday. So we've got one of them. And I've got a special code. Now, let me tell you about the special code first, because I know that there are some people that jump online and they like to get a bargain. So, all of the Sweet Poppy things that I have on the website in the Sweet Poppy section are all on a 15% off for today only, with this code written down. So you need to go over to the website and you will find such delicacies as the Sweet Poppy outline die for the fern, the outline die for the Christmas bauble, including the Christmas bauble, that's over there as well. We have got the gorgeous little shower of love and some of the new ones, fairly new, about a month ago, with the palm leaves and the chainmail and twisted vines, I think this one's called. There are loads over on the website, and if you put in this code online 15, you will get all of this, any of these I should say, at 15% off what they are on the website on checkout. So that is one thing that I thought I'd treat you to for the bank holiday. So I'll put that to one side. However, my little thing today is on the Facebook Live section, and that is Wildflowers. So it's a very pretty small die, and I'm just going to do it very, very simply and put it on a special card for you today. And so this is sort of, well, it is wildflowers. I don't know that it's anything in particular. I can't say that I know a flower that's a wildflower that's quite like that. So beautiful, very, very pretty, very delicate. And we're going to be using that on our card today. And I'm also going to be using some papers from the paper tree. So I'll bring these in for you as well. So these are very subtle colours. Hold on, I'm just trying to find the beginning of them. So these are the paper tree flowering fields, they're called. And they're a really pretty collection of grey, blue, peachy blush type of colour, so pinky. It's a very popular colour at the moment, the pinks and the greys, and I think it's a lovely combination. So there's 16 sheets altogether in that pad, so there's that one. And then of course, with all of that sort of thing, that comes along with the essential card. Now I have to say the card is more like it's a very, very thick paper, but it's not quite what I would suggest that you could actually make a card out of. So I have to be honest there. It's 200 GSM, but it hasn't got the sort of stability to actually make a full card out of it. And it is single-sided, so you're white on the other side. But the colours in that go so well. Of course, they pick out all of the colour palette that's in your papers. So those are the papers that I've decided to use today. Okay, so now, as I said, we're going to do a fancy fold. So first of all, I'm going to make the fancy fold card, and then I'm going to make my panel. Shall I do it the other way around? No, let's do it the other way around, because just in case that needs a little bit of time to dry off a bit. Yeah, let's do it like that, shall we? Okay, so I'm going to take a piece of white card, and because the Sweet Poppy stencils are metal, I'm going to put it onto my magnetic sheet so that it holds it down nicely. And I'm just going to make sure that that is clean, because it's looking a little bit not. because I was naughty and didn't clean it off. So let me just make sure that that is clean. Right, that's looking better. So I'm just going to put that over the top of my white piece of card, just an ordinary white piece of card. Now, I'm not actually going to put the sides down here because I'm going to move this about. I'm going to change it about. So I want to have images all over my piece of card. So if I've got it on a magnetic sheet, it's going to hold it down quite nicely. And I'm going to use the colour of Distress ink with it called Tattered Rose. Must have been one of their first ever ones that they've brought it out. But I think that it lends itself quite nicely to this because of the dusky sort of pinky blush colours that are within the papers that I'm using. Could have used a dark blue as well, because that's quite a nice colour to go with it. So I'm simply going to take my brush, load it up with the Tattered Rose, and I'm going to go in circular movements from the bottom and just work my way up to the top. Now, if you are hankering after having some wildflowers in your life, they are on the Facebook section. So all the others are on the Sweet Poppy, but this one is on the Facebook section. So the first layer that I'm going to put on, the first set of flowers, I'm going to put them on and I'm going to go over 3 or 4 times to layer this up and make these slightly darker. Now I'm going to have to try and get that stem in as well. So I'm just going to keep on putting one layer after another of this. It's a very, very pale colour, but it looks really lovely with the papers that we've got today. I suppose you could call it it's almost like I would have called it a larkspur. Anyone, any idea what other flower you might call it? I would have said a larkspur, but I don't know if you'd call that a wildflower. Don't know. So just layering those colours up. Now I'm going to just peel that off and then show you what we've got underneath with the lights. Pretty colour. So then you can see that it's a little bit wet. So I'm just going to get my gun and just dry that off a second because I don't want it to smudge. This is where I was layering lots and lots of colours onto there. There we go. So now I'm going to take my stencil again, and this time I'm going to move it a little bit so that I've got them in the background here. And this time I'm not going to put any more ink on. I'm just going to use what I've got on the stencil and what I've got on my brush and on my blending brush, and they're in the sale as well. So grab some of them whilst you can. And I'm just going to layer these up. Now I have gone over the flower that's underneath it, but it will give a very pretty effect as if they are in the background. And I'm just going to come down on this side, moving it over. Now I'm going to pick up a little bit of ink, but not much. I don't want it to be as strong as the first colour. So the first one I put lots of layers over, but the second one I'm going to try not to put so many. I want it to have a little bit of depth. And so we're going to layer these. So of course you could do these in any colour, but it looks nice with picking a colour that you've got on your colour palette of the papers or the card that you like. And another way really to use up the card and papers that you've already got. So, whoops, that one. So you can see that it's picking up. Now I know that I've got to trim this down quite a bit. So I'm just sort of imagining what it might look like if it's trimmed down. And I think that that's about it. I'm not going to go any further into there. So that was my Tattered Rose colour and my Wildflower. Okay. So let's pop that to one side for the moment. So I'm going to leave that so that that dries completely whilst I'm going to make my card. Now, my card, as always, I do try to, is from an A4 piece of card. So that way everyone can have a go at it. And I'm going to bring in my trimmer. Now, this is actually a Stampin' Up trimmer. The Stampin' Up trimmer was always a favourite of mine, and they've redesigned it fairly recently, and you can actually get the cutting blades, which is why I've gone onto that for the moment. But I'm particularly wanted to use it because it's a scorer and a cutter, and so that's what we need in this particular design. So if I was to fold my card in half, it would be at 14.8 centimetres. I want to make a square card, so I'm going to cut this at 14.8 centimetres, which is up here. So I'm going to cut that. I will use a little bit of that in a little while. So I'm going to pop that to one side. So then I'm going to put my cutting blade up to the top so it's out of the way. And I'm going to now score at 14.8 so that I now have a card that I'm using this one, which is my scorer, and I've now got a square card. So it's almost a 6 by 6. So then I'm going to turn it round that way. I'm going to take my scorer down to the bottom again. Oh, you can't see that, can you? Let's just lift. Oh, goodness me. Lift that up so that you can see a bit more. Right, so now, this card was shown to me by a friend who saw it on Pinterest and blah, 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 blah. I've no idea what you call it. Who knows? And the card that I was shown is, I have done my own design. The one that I was shown was a very much smaller card. So I don't know what we're going to call this one. So I now need to cut up 2 lines on this front panel. So this is the front of my card, the one nearest to me. And I'm going to move my card over so that this edge is at 3.5 centimetres. Okay, so that's all the way down at 3.5 centimetres. And then I'm going to take my cutting blade, and again, with the Fiskars one and this one, the beauty of it is that you have got a little marker either side that will show you that you're in line with any lines that might be. So it's perfect for this. So at 3.5 centimetres, I'm going to push that in, and I'm going to bring that down and cut that straight down. And then I'm going to move this over because I've got 3.5 centimetres on this side of my panel here as well. And I find that that's really easy when you're doing small measurements. So 3.5 centimetres this way, and I'm going to take that up to the fold line. So I've now got a flapper card. No, it's not a flapper card. I don't know what you'd call it. We can think of a name, can't we? So we've now got this sort of panel card here. Okay. So I will still need my scoring. Not scoring, my measuring board here, because now I'm going to choose what papers I would like to have. So my panel in the middle, that is going to be my lovely flowers. So I need to trim that down a bit, and I need to make that so that that is 14.3, so just a little bit smaller than it is at the moment, 14.3, and then my measurement in the middle needs to be 7.3. Bit of a funny, I know. So let's go for 14.3. So we need to just trim a little bit of that off. So 14.3 there, and then 7.3. So this is where I'm going to have an eye on what the pattern is and which bits I'm cutting off, because I'm going to cut that down as we go. So 7.3. That should be just about right, I think. So a fair bit cut off, but nevertheless, we've still got that pattern there, which with the lovely sort of looking as if you are looking into a field of flowers. So that's my panel that's going to go in the front of my card in that panel there. Now I'm going to choose from my papers some panels to go either side. just bring those over, hold on, without knocking it all off the floor. So there's quite a choice. We could go for a pinky one. Hold it around the right way because that would look about right. So we could go for a bit of pinky one, but personally, I think that's too close to what I've got in the image there. So that's probably not the one for this. We've got some darker ones. So they look quite nice, the darker ones. But I think it's, for me, it's either the darker one there or the lighter one there. And I think that the lighter one looks quite nice. So that's the one that I'm going to go for. Okay. So I need to cut some slithers of this. So 14.3 is the measurement that we need for the length. Like that. And we need 2 pieces that are 3 centimetres, because if you remember, our panels either side were 3.5, so we need those at 3. So I'm using the measurement on this side because I find it easier. So that's 1 piece, and then 2 pieces. So that's my panels either side. That's going to go there like that. Okay. Then I need a piece for the middle, and for that I'm going to take one of the lovely pieces of coloured card, because I think that that will lend itself to being used for that. And I think we'll go for one of the peachy colours. If I can grab hold of them, we'll go for one of the peachy colours, because that will just look nice. That's the beauty of this, that these all mix and match with that. So 14.3 by 14.3 this one will be, as it's the inside of the card. 14.3 by 14.3. And that is going to go inside my card, like so. Okay, now I have already cut one other measurement, and that was a piece of acetate, and I've still got it on the backing so that you can see it, because otherwise you wouldn't be able to see it very well. So I've cut a piece that's 3 centimetres wide and 14.3 again for that piece as well. Okay, so now we need to construct our card, put a few pieces together, a few extra pieces as well. So first and foremost, I can stick these pieces in here. Just grab my glue, and I forgot to prime this, so probably you'll now be talking amongst yourselves because I didn't get it started. So what we're going to call the card, the design then, folks? Do we know? Do we know what colour? What? As I say, it's a pass me down one. So I didn't even know what it was called in the first place, but I have sort of just tweaked it because I want to be able to get it out of my A4 card. So just going to put my beautiful wildflowers in the panel in the centre, and then my little strips of paper. Just picked up the wet glue. Well, the wet glue, and I'm just going to put that in there. Try and get that as even as possible. That's on that side, and then this little one is going to go onto the side. So let's just go over to there. So there, whoops, a little bit of glue. There's sort of our front, but we're not finished. I'm going to open up my card. Now, before I actually stick this piece down, I just want to put a little verse, a little sentiment type thing in the centre there. And I'm just going to pop this one on here. But before I do, I just want to make sure that it's going to be underneath this panel, so that when this panel opens up, you're going to actually see this panel there. So I'm just going to get my stamping platform Oh, I still got that tree on it. I was foiling that tree. That's absolutely beautiful foiled. I will have to go and get it and show you. Well, I'll have to show you on Wednesday. Absolutely stunning. It was one of the Nellie Snellen trees, and it's beautiful. Right, so let's take this to one side. So we know that that's going to be more or less correct. So I'm going to pop some magnets down and take that in the center like that. And I'm going to stamp it in a sort of a dark grey. So it is Morning Mist, if I can find it. So it's not too dark, but it should be just about right as well. Should be quite a nice colour. So I'm just going to ink that up and just pop that onto there, just gently pressing that down. But because we've got a stamping platform, we can always put it back if we need to, but I think that that looks beautiful. So it says, the best things in life are the people we love, the places we've been, and the memories we've made along the way, which I think is rather lovely. So that's going to go on our inside. And again, that's very, very wet. So I'm just going to blast that off as well. Just noticed how wet it was. Can you see how it's shining? You can't do with that, can you? Whoops, that's a bit better. So now we've got one more thing to do here. So we're bringing in our card blank again, and I'm going to bring down that panel there, but I'm going to work on these two strips up the top here. Now on the two strips, I'm going to put some tape, and because unfortunately I've lost, as you could imagine with me, I've lost my wider tape, my power tape, gone walkabouts. I'm going to use my thin one, so I'm going to have to use a couple of bits rather than just the one. But whoops, get it around the right way. I'm just going to put them on these two legs. Now, if I had the wider tape, I would only need to put one piece, but I'm just going to put two, just to make sure that it's held on. Now, I know that it's blue on the back here at the moment, and we don't want to leave blue on there, but this has just got to have that protective piece taken off. So plenty of tape there. You could use a bit more if you wanted, but you do need to really use a sticky sheet like this as opposed to just glue, because that won't do the trick at all. So I'm just going to take these off. See, you thought that you had a Sunday not watching me peeling off that, didn't you? But no, you did. And there we go. So those two pieces are off. Then I'm going to take my piece of acetate and I'm going to place that over the top of my pieces so that it is right on that edge there, and just tape that into place. So I know that you can see it very, very slightly, but I don't think it matters all that much. You could put some more of your beautiful card strips on there if you wanted to, the papers, so that you couldn't see it, but in actual fact you're hardly going to notice it. So then the inside of our card is going to be our lovely sentiment there. So let's get that put down. In fact, I think I'm going to put some double-sided tape for that. So I can see that it's still not quite dry and I don't want it. So I'm doing it the wrong way round, really, that I don't want to smudge that. So I'm just going to add my tape to the inside here of my card rather than what I'm putting on. I know that some people do that anyway. I've noticed it, but I prefer to do it the other way normally. But hey ho, we'll do it this way. So double-sided tape, and then we can pop that in the centre there. Just press that down like that so that we have got our centerpiece there. Now, we have still got one piece to add, but you can see now how it's coming together with this beautiful thing. I just want a little sentiment on there. So to do the sentiment, I'm going to take one of the stamp and die sentiment sets, the one that says hello, and I'm going to use that bit of grey card that we had left over. So I'll chop a bit of that off. And at the same time, I'm going to use a bit of the sort of peachy colour that we had left over as well. So with the stamps and die sets, sentiments, you've got a shadow already done. So if you look at it, you can see that you've got one is very much wider than the other and one that has two bits built in as well. So we don't want that. So our shadow behind is going to be our grey colour. And our sentiment in the front is going to be the peachy colour. I'm going to pop that onto my plate and then just run that through. There we go. Just take these off, and these are very delicate. I mean, that doesn't, well, it does look like hello, but it does look a bit odd. But then when you put these ones on, they just make it pop, and it's just very, very pretty, I think. Oops. So our lovely sentiment is going to go in the centre there. I'm just going to put a bit of glue on my surface here just to pick this up. Don't want it on my skin really. So just pick up that. Don't want the bubble there either, do we? So starting off on one edge and just feeding it through so that it is in the right places. And with the dries clear glue, do make sure that you use that, because then if you do get a little bit out of side there, which I have, then it's fine. It will dry clear and you won't even notice it. And I have to say, that is why I use the sticky specs, because I have made a little bit of a mess of that. But the good thing is it will dry clear. Thank goodness, she says. So bringing our card in, our sentiment is going to go down the bottom there on our piece of acetate. So we just need, and I am going to put sticky specs on there because I can't be doing with that. So I'm just going to get my sheet of sticky specs. And I think that that will give me a better finish than the sticky glue. But fortunately, the glue will dry off. So I'm going to pop that in the centre of my acetate that's on the front there. And then I'm just going to do one more thing, and that is grab myself, hold on because I can't see it, grab myself a butterfly die, and I just want a little butterfly that's going to be chopped out of, or a big butterfly. Let's go big. Let's check that I've got the right sizes there. Yeah. So I'm going to use my extra bit of this so that it's all in the same colour palette, and just going to chop one of these out. I don't think I need that one actually. I think I'll just use a lacy one. I'm just going to run that through my machine as well. Needs a flower. Everybody, sorry, needs a butterfly. Everybody needs a butterfly, don't you think? So have we decided what this is going to be called? Because I really don't know. Have I sold out of the papers? Okay, I can get more papers. I will put them on, and the papers will be in on Thursday. So if you are wanting any more of the papers, bear with me, and I will upload the fact that they will be here on Thursday. I do like that, but it needs to be a bit smaller, and I haven't got the small ones here, so I will put them out. No, I love it. I love the pink colour, which I've then picked out from all of that. Actually, you know, that battered rose is a perfect combination for this. But I think that flower needs, that butterfly needs to be a bit smaller. So I will grab a small one and I will do that. Just thinking if I've got a punch even. Yeah, hold on a second. Hold on a second. I think this might do nicely. So I've just grabbed an old punch that I've got. And I think it's not such a pretty butterfly because it's not got the delicate leaves. That's better. It needs to be a little one, doesn't it? So let's just put far too much glue on there. So I've just put glue on the border, on the body, I beg your pardon. I'm just going to bend the wings in a bit. That can just go up top of there. So now let me just show you how it stands up. So I know you can't see this all that well, but you can see then that as we stand it up, our front bit here comes forward and it's held with that acetate. So you've got the wording there, which is nice. Then you've got this fold up panel, which has got all your lovely wildflowers on. And then as you open up, you've then got room for not only a verse maybe, but also you've got your own to whoever, wishing you a lovely day type of thing. So as I said, no idea what we're calling it, but I think it's quite a nice, fun sort of step card, panel card, I don't know what, but rather a pretty one. So don't forget, you will find over on the maximumcrafts.com website, you will find this little beauty, which is the Wildflower from Sweet Poppy, and limited what we've got, but they're over there, and that's for doing this beautiful design there. We did do a very similar one yesterday with pastes and colouring, and this one is the Delphinium, but it would lend itself very, very well to be coloured with the paste. This flower would look really lovely with that. So that's that one. And we have got all over on the website the online 15 with, just grabbing these, with all these lovely Sweet Poppy stencils and bits and pieces, even the brand new ones. They're all over there with 15% off for today only. So do go and grab yourself a bargain if you can. With the papers, as I said, with these lovely papers, I will just redo it on the website, and what's my online sign? I will make sure that they are available, because I know I can get some more, but they won't be available for a few days, not till the end of week, because of the bank holiday tomorrow. So here is finally my code for you. So say online 15 for anything that's Sweet Poppy, apart from the Wildflowers today, and anything that you want from the Facebook Live today is on the Facebook Live section. Okay, so there we go. Have we decided what we're going to call it? No. A swing card? A swing bridge card? Oh yeah, I'm quite liking that, June. Thank you. Yeah, a swing bridge card. I think that's probably sums it up what it's called, isn't it? But I just think it's just a lovely different card. And I know you can't see it properly, but it does stand up like that. And you can't see that at all really, can you? But it has got the ability to stand up and be separate, so you can see that that is literally swinging. I was going to say it's a swingers card, but I'm not going to say that. It's a swing bridge card. So let's behave. Okay, so yes, different colouring for me, but I think it looks really pretty. So the greys and hints of blue and this lovely sort of apricot blush, peachy, whatever colour. Really very pretty. Unfortunately, the dries clear glue is now drying clear, so it doesn't look such a mess. I should have put sticky specs on. So thank you very much for joining me today. Enjoy the weather, enjoy the weekend, stay safe, and I will be back with you on Wednesday for a Wednesday Wonder. Potentially we've got next Sunday will be the card kit. So if you're not around this week, we will be launching the card kit for June, because we will be into June, won't we? 1st of June on Tuesday. So yeah, look out for exciting things coming. Christmas is almost here. And with that, I shall bid you farewell. Have a great day, everybody. Take care. Bye-bye.